Alrighty, part 2 of my BYOguitar LP JR guitar kit. She is complete, and I'll tell you a little bit about the build. Again, I got this kit from BYOguitar.com rather, that is. And this is their import model LP JR, not the custom shop one. But I did do some upgrades. I upgraded the pickup with Ken Armstrong dog ear P90, and I upgraded the nut from them. And the other upgrades I did, you know, outside of BYO. Starting with this killer bridge from Schroeder Guitars. Jeff Schroeder, I believe his name is. He builds guitars, but he also builds some insane hardware. And just kind of, let me get up a little closer here. Look at that bridge. It's rad. It's just got a cool look about it. But also it functions really well, which is cool. I mean, obviously you have individual saddles you can intonate unlike the normal kind of wrap tail piece on an LP JR. It has this cool little kind of wing about it, which is I really dig. And the saddles are brass, which gives it a little bit more spank. And I just love it. The tone it makes is just really cool. And I know there's a difference because I had tried the bridge that came with the guitar, the Badass bridge, which is a great bridge, by the way. But I strung it up just to see. When I was measuring everything out, I strung it up with that bridge, and that was a good bridge, and it intonated pretty good. But the second I put this one in, man, the guitar just came to life. It's just, this bridge just rules. The other upgrade I did is on my pots. I got a wiring harness off of eBay for 50s kind of style wiring harness. USA CTS 500K pots, bumblebee cap rather, and cloth wiring, which is, you know, nice clean wiring. But everything else is stock. Tuners are stock. You know, the guitar is stock. The pickguard didn't come with the kit right away, but I contacted BYO and they sent it right out to me. It, you know, took a couple extra days, but it wasn't a huge deal because I still had to build the kit, and it was still not even halfway through when they finally sent it to me. So the fit was not the greatest. I had to do a couple little tricks here, to sanding and all that stuff to get it to look good and fit good. And I would still wish it would have fit just a little bit better, but it still looks really cool. And if you remember from my part 1 video, I was going to do this in a worn white finish. Well, obviously, this is not worn white. Now, I tried to use a wood tone finishing kit. Now, I had used one on my previous build with great success, but this time I didn't have much success, mainly because the sanding sealer. Now, wood tone says, you know, you don't want any sanding sealer because it will react bad to your guitar. And my last kit had sealer. I sanded it off and had no problem. This one, I guess they used a different kind of sealer. I'm sure these import kits come from different factories, but this one had an enormous amount of sealer on it, and I just apparently couldn't get it off even as much as I sanded. But you know what? Live and learn. I talked to the guy at Woodtone USA, and he couldn't be cool. His name's Wyatt, just really a great guy. And he gave me some advice on how to try to fix it, and I tried, but unfortunately the stain from them just wouldn't seep in, didn't really look good. So I used a Minwax based stain, just a Minwax oil based stain on here. This was a red mahogany, and it came out great. I did use the wood tone top coat, vintage aged or whatever, top aging coat tint on top of the Minwax stain. And if you're running into the same problem with the sanding sealer, but you still want to use a thin kind of top coat, you can still use that with like a Minwax stain. you know, not even the guy at Woodtone knew that. I'd asked him that question. He was like, I don't know. I just gave it a try to see how it came out. And as you can see, it looks great. Now, we don't have a mirror shine, but it's still nice. And you probably saw when I did that, you probably saw some kind of body marks and all that stuff. I had a little mishap with the hammer trying to pull my post out after I was doing a test fit and all that stuff. I slipped the hammer and put a little dent in here. But I don't mind that much because I was really going for a worn finish, not so much a relic finish, but kind of a worn finish, and which kind of went aside with a lot of the fit and finish issues that I had with the guitar. But it still looks great, and I love it. It looks like a guitar that's been played. It's got a more of a 60s neck again, but I wish that was thicker. But it's still very playable. It's very comfortable to play. It's, you know, so it's a little bit wider profile right here, but the neck I wish it was a little bigger. My only main issue is when the holes were pre-drilled for the tuners and for the screws back here, and they were just a disaster. They were all winky and all that stuff when I first put them in, so I had to try to fix them, and Olin could not fix one completely because of the placement of the other holes, so I couldn't straighten it out to make it even with this side. But you know what? Actually, it's this side. It still looks great. I know I could have filled that, but it was after I'd already finished the guitar. I didn't want any kind of finish marks, and you won't really notice it. I mean, you can probably see it right there, but what are you going to do? It's this one right here. It's a little twisted, but hey, it still looks pretty cool. It's functional, perfectly functional, fine the way it is. The headstock, I think, came out great. You notice I haven't put any kind of logo on there or anything. I'm probably going to put something on the truss rod, and that's about it. Maybe eventually I'll put a logo. And I still might take this off, and I was thinking about kind of putting a whole kind of metal plate on there, kind of like a Zamanis. And I'll remove this and make it like a kind of a chrome look to it too. But I don't know, kind of dig the old school P90 look about it right there, except for a little bit of a cutaway. It's deeper than a normal LP Jr., but it still looks killer. And it's, you know, I like that it's a little different, and there's no bookmark on the headstock here. So that's it. BYOguitar.com LP Jr. kit. I love it. I dig it. I hope you dig it. Go get yourself one. They're really rad. You already heard a little bit of it. You heard how killer that pickup sounds. There's not much to it. It's just a P90. I'm not going to bother going all clean and all that stuff for it. You know what a P90 sounds like. They're meant to be growly and dirty and rock and rolly. So this definitely does it. So enjoy it.